Episode 5 of The Walking Dead, Dead City Season 2 is without a doubt one of the best episodes in the series so far. It's the moment where all the slow build-up in earlier episodes finally explodes into chaos, emotional drama, betrayals, and one incredible Negan twist that could completely change how the rest of the show plays out. While many fans were expecting more screen time between Maggie and Negan after their big reunion last week, this episode boldly separates the two again. And honestly, it works. Because what we get instead is Maggie barely surviving a deadly situation, Ginny making a shocking move, and Negan pulling off a plan that might go down as one of the cleverest moves he's ever made. Let's start with Maggie's intense storyline. After she, Armstrong, and Herschel return to the Central Park Group's base, things instantly feel off. The place that once had a peaceful vibe is now crawling with tension, and it's all because Major Narvaez has taken over during Armstrong's absence. From the beginning of Season 2, Narvaez has been written as a character who's easy to hate. She's manipulative, controlling, and clearly more interested in power than peace. And now, she's forcing the Central Park Group to merge with the new Babylon Federation, something that's bound to end badly. Honestly, every time Narvaez is on screen, you just want to see her get taken down. Episode 5 gives fans that satisfaction, but not before a lot of nail-biting suspense. Things really get crazy when Ginny suddenly pulls a gun on Herschel. Yes, Herschel. It was a moment I didn't see coming. Ginny, who had been dealing with the pain of knowing Negan killed her father, lets her emotions get the better of her. She points the gun at Herschel in order to stop Maggie from hurting Narvaez. This is where things get really complicated. Ginny isn't just angry, she's confused, torn, and desperate for justice in her own way. But using Herschel as a pawn? That's a new low, even for someone in grief. Thankfully, Ginny realizes what she's done later on, but that moment changes her forever. She's now crossed the line, and it'll be interesting to see how the show handles her arc going forward. Then there's Maggie's near-death experience. Even though most fans probably knew deep down that she wouldn't actually die, especially not like this, the scene where she's almost hanged was still incredibly intense. The showrunners built that moment up so well, with so much tension, that you couldn't help but hold your breath. And then, just when it looked like everything was falling apart, the walkers arrived and turned the whole scene upside down. In a twist that felt poetic and earned, Roxana, the walker version of the Central Park Group's peaceful leader, ends up killing Narvaez. That ending was not just shocking, but deeply satisfying. A full-circle moment that made Narvaez's downfall feel deserved. While Maggie's side of the story was dramatic and emotional, Negan's side of the episode was all strategy and power plays. He's not the same man he was in the original Walking Dead series, but when needed, that old ruthless Negan still comes out. In the premiere episode of Season 2, we saw hints of that when he delivered a chilling speech and showed off the new electrified version of Lucille. Back then, I thought it was just a cool callback. But now, after Episode 5, it's clear that was just the beginning of something much bigger. This episode dives deeper into Negan's interactions with Christos, a character who surprised me a lot. I originally thought Christos was going to be a typical tough guy villain, but this episode changed that perception completely. It turns out that Christos and his group were only acting tough to protect the women and children hiding with them. That reveal gave his character so much more depth and instantly made him more likable. He and Negan even seemed to form a genuine connection, which is rare in this world. But, as always, Dead City doesn't let any happy moment last for long. When the Croat shows up, things go south fast. Without warning, he gasses Christos' entire group and wipes them out, all because they cut power to a key area. It's brutal and efficient, and it instantly reminds us how dangerous the Croat really is. But instead of reacting emotionally, Negan uses this as fuel. He channels all his hatred for the Croat and the mysterious Dama into a plan that is both genius and savage. What really blew me away was how Negan uses manipulation instead of violence to pull off his latest power move. He knows the Croat is feeling insecure because the Dama has been undermining him lately. So what does Negan do? He plays them against each other. He plants the seed of doubt and lets it grow. The best part? It works. In what might be the biggest twist of the episode, the Croat turns on the Dama, leaving her trapped under a pile of furniture as flames begin to consume the room. Now here's the real shocker: is the Dama dead? The episode leaves that question hanging, but everything about the scene suggests that she might not have survived. If that's true, it's a huge deal. The Dama has been a major behind-the-scenes power player in Dead City, and removing her from the equation changes everything. It would force the Croat to either take control fully or fall apart without her guidance. And it also opens the door for Negan to make his move and reshape the entire power structure of this world. Negan has always been a master manipulator, but what makes this episode different is how smartly he uses that skill without leaning into the kind of over-the-top violence we've seen from him in the past. He's calculated now. Strategic. He's playing chess while everyone else is still throwing punches. If this is the direction the show is heading in, with Negan as a mastermind pulling strings behind the scenes, then I'm fully on board. By the end of Episode 5, Dead City Season 2 feels completely transformed. The slow character-building episodes earlier in the season now feel like the calm before the storm. Everything is exploding now, emotionally, politically, and violently. There are only 3 episodes left, and with Maggie, Negan, Armstrong, Ginny, and the Croat all heading into uncertain territory, things are going to get even wilder. Episode 5 isn't just a turning point, it's the moment the show steps into a whole new gear. Maggie's brush with death, Ginny's moral crisis, and Negan's master plan are all pieces in a larger puzzle that's coming together fast. I loved how the writers managed to tie all of these storylines together while still keeping the pacing tight and the tension high. With the Croat and Negan now locked in a dangerous mind game, and the rest of the survivors scattered and on edge, anything can happen next. If you gave up on Dead City earlier this season because it felt slow, now is the time to jump back in. This episode proves that the show knows exactly where it's going, and it's going there fast. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds in the last 3 episodes. Negan is playing a long game, and if this episode is any indication, he just might come out on top.